Well, hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another bread series video. Today, we are throwing out all ideas of sourdough discard, and we're using some plain, regular old yeast to make some bagels today. And the recipe I'm following is an everything bagel recipe, but we're probably gonna make some plain bagels and some everything bagels just to have a little bit of variety. I've always been a little intimidated to make bagels. Honestly, I don't really know why. Maybe just because it's kind of a process. You have to boil them and all of that good stuff, but I'm very excited to make them. I'm very excited to bring you guys along with me. So let's go ahead and get into making some bagels. We're trying a different background today, trying a different location because I didn't feel like dragging out the ring light. I would much rather use natural light anyway. So we're facing all the windows and all the doors, and I have the lights on in my kitchen. So hopefully this is good. Hopefully it's gonna work. But I'm gonna start by prepping all of the ingredients, getting the yeast activated and measuring out all of my flour and everything like that. It just saves me a lot of time. Prep your ingredients according to the recipe. Usually it'll tell you to measure out your flour, activate your yeast, and it just helps for easier cleanup, helps you to be on track so you're not having to stop and measure things and start again and forget where you were in your recipe. So just do yourself a favor, measure everything out in the beginning and then go from there. I used to be one of those people who would just bake on the fly and just measure everything willy-nilly. If you are that type of person, there is nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying from experience, this is something that has helped me. We're gonna get started on putting these little bagels together. I kind of like this angle a little bit. I don't know. All right, so our yeast has activated. It's all nice and bubbly on the top. I'm a weirdo, but I think yeast smells really good. It just smells like bread to me. So I've already mixed my 5 3/4 cups of flour in here with my salt. So we're just gonna mix this all together. And I'm gonna make a little bit of a well. It doesn't say to, but I'm gonna do that and pour my yeast mixture into my flour. Ooh. And it says you wanna mix this all together until a rough dough forms. And after that, we are gonna turn it out onto our countertop and we're gonna knead it for 10 to 15 minutes until everything is smooth and combined. And after that, we have to let it rise for an hour to an hour and a half. So I am gonna mix all this up until it forms a rough dough, as it says, and then I'll come back when I'm getting ready to knead it. You could always mix this with a wooden spoon or a rubber spatula, but when I'm making bread, I just love working with my hands. I feel like that's the fun of making bread, is getting your hands a little messy and getting to play with the dough. You kind of feel like a little kid again. This is looking kind of like it should, so I'm gonna grab my flour back out of my pantry. We're gonna turn this out onto the counter and we're gonna knead it for a little bit. Every time I have to sprinkle flour on the countertop, it just reminds me of like the salt guy who sprinkles the salt. You know what I'm talking about. I don't gotta explain it, but I'm gonna bring you guys in a little bit closer for the whole kneading process. Kneading is pretty self-explanatory, but I'm gonna skip that part, speed it up a little bit so you guys don't have to watch me knead bread for 10 to 15 minutes.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes.
I would like to point out that if you don't want to knead this by hand, you can use your KitchenAid mixer, a stand mixer with a dough hook on it to knead it, which I wish I would have done, but here we are. My arms are killing me, so props to all those pioneer women, our grandmas, moms who knead bread by hand. But I got about 5 minutes left. I'm gonna finish kneading this and then it's gotta rise for an hour to an hour and a half.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I figure out where the road goes.
Look at this, Big Mama. She's busting out the top, but it's looking good. I'm glad it's rising. I don't have to play a guessing game like I do with sourdough, but I'm very, very excited for these and it smells really good. I just love the smell of dough. Got my water all ready to go. Went ahead and prepped out my baking sheets and I'm getting ready to add my honey into my water, bring it to a boil, and then we're gonna shape our dough while all of that is going. Also, I'm gonna preheat my oven to 425 degrees. Let that get going while everything else is going so that everything will be ready to go once our bagels are ready. So now that our dough is nice and doubled, she's looking cute, we're gonna punch it down and then we're gonna turn this out onto the counter. And then we're gonna split it into 12 equal sections. Since this recipe makes about a dozen bagels, I'm gonna dust my counter with a little bit of flour. I'm gonna kind of form this into a log shape and I'm gonna grab my dough cutter so we can cut this into 12 equal pieces. Our bagels are not twins, barely even sisters, more like cousins. They are all not gonna be the same size, but you're gonna form them into a smooth ball. And then you're gonna start gently making a hole in the center of them with your thumb or your pointer finger and your middle finger. And you wanna make the hole a little bit wider because it will shrink a little bit when we put them in the boiling water. But that is where we're gonna start and I'm gonna speed this process up. I'll show you one that I'm gonna do and then we're gonna speed the process up so you don't see me making 12 bagels because that would take forever. All these little babies are ready to go. They're gonna rest for a second. Our water is boiling, so we're gonna drop those little babies in the jacuzzi, cook them for a little bit on each side. These are looking so good. We got our everything bagel seasoning on them. We're leaving those plain. So we're gonna put them in our oven at 425 degrees for 15 to 18 minutes. And then we're gonna eat them with some cream cheese. You can eat them plain, eat them with some butter. Yum.
There is a life I lead in this city. Waiting to cut my teeth.
These bagels smell so good and I'm so excited to eat them. I love bagels. I used to eat them for breakfast literally every day. I haven't eaten bagels in a while. I don't have any like spread cream cheese, but I do have a block of cream cheese, so I'll probably just mix that up in a bowl to make it a little bit more spreadable so I can eat some of these bagels when they come out. But I'm telling you, my whole house smells so good. They're done. I'm so excited. They smell so good. You have to let them cool on the baking sheet for a little bit, and then you let them cool the rest of the way on a wire rack. Call me Einstein Bagels. I'm a one-woman show over here. Hold on, I'll turn you around so you can see it. They're all nice and golden, a little fluffy, a little crunchy. And then these are our plain bagels. They're nice and golden and crusty.
Feeling is all gone. If I could
I just softened a little bit of this cream cheese instead of getting my whole blender out and everything, but we're gonna try an everything and we're gonna try a plain one. So I'm gonna get a bread knife and cut these. Ooh. I'm gonna scoot you guys back a little bit actually. That's better, okay. So I'm gonna slice them. These still are pretty warm, so the slice might not be great. I'm gonna dig in. Do you hear Maverick down here? He's done that little grunt ever since he was a puppy. That little growl thing. I don't know what it is. Okay, but we're gonna dig into the everything bagel. That is so good. If your everything bagel is not enough seasoning for you, put your cream cheese on it. Get your everything bagel seasoning. And just put you a little bit more on there. So good. 10 out of 10 for that one. Now we're gonna try the plain without the bagel seasoning on it. Definitely gonna toast them next time. I just wanted to try them really quick. So good. Make these. They're so easy. You won't regret it. These are a 10 out of 10 for me. Redeem myself from my weird loaf bread that I made last week with my sourdough discard. These bagels turned out so much better. It says they will keep for 2 to 3 days in an airtight container on the counter, or they will keep in the freezer. I'm not sure how long, but I will link the recipe down below for you guys so you can make these for yourselves because they are so good. I'm probably gonna go and throw the other half in the toaster so I can eat it as like a little snack. We're really close to dinner time, so I'm gonna try not to fill myself up on bagels. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's bread video. It was actually really fun making something that wasn't sourdough related, something with regular yeast, and it usually tends to go a lot quicker. You don't have to wait for things to rise or things to proof as much. This one was really simple, only an hour to an hour and a half of your dough having to rise again. So I would definitely make this again, especially for like a brunch or like a breakfast. If you had people over and you wanted to impress them with homemade bagels, I think that would be a really good idea. But I'm gonna stop rambling and eat the rest of my bagels and in today's video right here. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.